Every weekend for an hour, they race on the most unpredictable racetrack in the world, bringing us the most unpredictable entertainment. This is the 1998 season of offshore circuit racing. The attraction of offshore circuit racing to the competitor owes much to its simplicity. 3 classes, 2 litre, including the Mercury XR2 engine, 1.8 litre, dominated by the 130 Yamaha, and there's 1.3 litre. The most popular engines here are the Yamaha, and to a lesser extent the Tohatsu. All the engines are standard, all the hulls are standard. It's affordable, only the propellers may be worked on. Welcome to the sailing heartlands of Britain, sunny Salcome to be precise, on the beautiful southern shores of Devon. Deep in the west country of England we are, and they don't come any prettier than this. Rarely crowded, rarely cold, rare indeed. And a rare occasion too, sailing taking a back seat today. Powerboats are centre stage as the new season of offshore circuit racing attempts to get underway after the disappointments of Newquay a couple of weeks ago. And don't be fooled by the picture, the sea isn't going to be that flat. And good crowds even on the cliff tops. And an entry brimming with favourites. Brian and Pat Bedell, second in the shakedown race at All Hallows, number 13. Christian Olger and Kevin Hoare, rough water specialists, number 50. Andy and Graham Gittins, runners-up last year and nationally, number 38. Ian Sanderson and Paul Scott, champions of Europe, the favourites. The dark horses, Graham Hastings and James Kemp, number 3. And Ian Sterling and A.D. Dickinson, genuine top 3 when the going gets rough. Vicky Crump with new kid on the block, Sue Catchpole, number 4. More girls, Sharon Atley and Jackie Porter, 49, racing against the boys. And the locals, number 70, Derek Basham and John Cook, and Derek's brother Eddie, with co-driver Rob Perry, number 80. 30 boats in all, these are the conditions as seen by Andy Gittings an hour ago. Frightening, isn't it? So he's seen the sea, so who does he see as the favourites?
There's 1 or 2 now. I think Mr. Pedell's going quite well. Mr. Hastings is going very well. Obviously Mr. Sanderson is around still, so it's an open sort of field this year, I think.
Well, that was 2 litre. There's also 1.8 litre, led by last year's champion and considered by many to be this year also. 52, Bob Hunt.
New boat, new setup. Hopefully similar setup to what we used last year. I think Vicky's going to be our main challenger this year. He's going to be right alongside us because, as you know, I built Vicky's boat as well as mine, so it could be quite interesting out there.
Well, I was going to say it could be a little bit embarrassing for you. What are you going to do if she beats you?
Oh, go and hide.
The smallest category in OCR is 1.3 litre, where you will find a young lady whose determination to take the boys on and beat them at their own game has never been in doubt.
And the wind's got up, so hopefully the conditions will be a bit better for my boat.
You really don't like the flat at all?
No, the boat's heavy, so it's more suited to the rougher conditions, and the smaller Argo is much quicker in the flatter conditions, so keeping my fingers crossed.
The first round of the offshore circuit racing calendar, sponsored by Salcome Dairies and Crew Clothing, is about to get underway. 30 crews at the start line, milling off the plane in an anti-clockwise direction to the rules, prior to the rolling start. On board with reigning champion, Sanderson and Scott, and confirming there it won't be flat. Start procedure is simple. A start boat flying the Union flag brings them all into line. They must then remain in a straight line 30 metres astern, building up to around 30 miles an hour, and here they go. Then, when the start marshal considers no one has an unfair advantage, he drops the flag, and off they go. And there they go. The Salcome Grand Prix is underway, and that's on board with Andy and Graham Gittings, and that's a slow start from them, almost at the back. But a great start for Christian Auger, blue boat in the centre, and I think that was Sharon Attlee there. Husband and wife Brian and Pat Bedell, and early evidence of exactly how rough it's going to be. Beginning to spread out already with just half a mile gone. Andy and Graham Gittings beginning now to pick it up just a little bit. The light Argo not suited to the conditions. There's the top shot, and it's a lighter boat built for the flatter stuff that will suffer today. Oh, the Gittings almost off the plane. This is Sanderson running in around 10th. Yet another driver struggling to keep the boat on what is quite a steep chop. Around a couple of metres, every one of those hurts. Lee Moxham here near side, Mark Precy far side, Paul Davis there beginning to get away from the mid-pack. Offshore circuit racing represents the smallest of all offshore categories, combining the seamanship involved with offshore with the multi-lap infighting of inshore circuit racing. These are the leaders. Oh, and Sharon Attlee and Jackie Porter, C49 far side, 1.3 litre, mixing it here with Christian Auger and Kevin Hoare in the 2 litre. Well, that's a cracking start for the Kent girls. Back with Andy Gittings. The war of attrition continues here. Oh, it's painful to watch. Not half as painful as being in there. I wonder if Graham was checking the engine. It's still on there, Andy, I think, might be the caption. The day's race of 40 miles might well be shortened, I have to say, in this. The pounding will inflict considerable damage for sure. Not many will survive. Those that do will have a bruise or two to prove it. This is Brian Bedell. Oh, and we're back here with the Gittings brothers. And apart from those bruises, a face full of water there for your trouble. It's a tough life on the ocean wave. Sanderson up the inside of Gittings here. Oh, and there they are, and the champion after a pretty ordinary start by his mercurial standards, beginning now to find a rhythm. But he's a long way back. Auger, I'm told, is being challenged at the front by Basham, which may catch up on that in a moment. And this will make matters worse. They'll drop back. Oh, and here comes Priestley. Phantom 19 Mercury XR2. 200 horsepower. And a mighty burst there from the Slough man. He flies past Sanderson and into 7th. Now, that was magnificent. Watched astern by Paul Davis and Terry Leary. They're 11th. End a lap, and it's true. Basham is past Auger. It's the lead for the local man. And I think I'm right in saying, still looking for his first Grand Prix win. Well, what a place to do it this would be. Round the mark, 6 miles complete. Auger should be next. Yes, there he is. A little disappointed maybe after that early lead. Oh, and that might have been number 12. Yes! Steve Masterman and Mike Drew, another great performance. As was Sharon Attlee and Jackie Porter, 49. We're leading. This is 6. Graham Hastings and Ian Sterling are through. So the first lap times, Basham through in 6:39, averaging 58.6 miles an hour. Well, that's tremendous. Olga was through in 6 minutes 46. Steve Masterman, 6 minutes 54. And Graham Hastings, 6 minutes 58. That was Sharon Attlee. And this is the Gittings, almost 2 minutes down now at the end of lap 1. Leaders, and you have to say, good value for it. Basham and Cook have tamed the increasing swells, and Olga here will need all of his considerable experience just to hang on. And what a drive this is for Steve Masterman and Mike Drew. First season in real contention. What a season that is. But under pressure now from Hastings. He's closing. And this is the rerun of Ian Sterling and A.D. Dickinson going through the treadmill here. The most difficult of days. And it's a fight to staying fourth. A trip there. And almost in. The big fight back by number 50, Christian Auger and Kevin Hoare, nudging ahead of Basham and Cook just when the Devon crew looked to have it sewn up. Well, it's been a terrific scrap with Graham Hastings, number 3, increasing the pressure. He's on the fast lap. Anything could still happen in this race. And Derek Basham is looking for inspiration. But it won't be easy. Graham Hastings is the quickest man on the course. 4 minutes 11 seconds his last lap is 2 seconds quicker than Basham's best. Masterman and Drew have posted a 4 minute 15 to hold on to fourth, but Mark Priestley with laps of 4:13, 4:14 and 4:12 is closing on the Bournemouth pair. This is Brian Padell, 4:26 his best, and probably as good as he's gonna get in the lightweight Phantom. Bob Hunt is dominating 1.8 litre. And Hastings has blasted to the front. Well, that's quite remarkable. 4 minutes 9 seconds is another day's quickest. And with 1 lap to go, it could be his first Grand Prix victory. And what a turnaround in just 2 laps that has been. Basham is second. Auger's out with mechanical gremlins. It's all happening. Sterling there is in third. Well, what can you say? But it doesn't finish there. Mark Priestley, we saw him almost at the back on lap 1. He's now fourth, and I have to say I've never seen him drive better. What a season he might have ahead. And moving back, Ed Basham, second in C, very much a part of the organising team here in Salcome. Might have wished he'd organised some flatter weather for his little light Argo. And OCR certainly with substantial spectator appeal. Running close to the shoreline, and today in conditions that have demanded the utmost concentration and patience. Again, it's been good value for money. On board with Brian Padell, Nippon Express number 13. And they're all in the pack chasing these two. But Graham Hastings could ease it up. Basham is another victim of the cruel seawee here. And now surely it's a cruise for number 3. Perfect trim and balance. One of the favourites, perhaps, for the championship. Rob McCarthy here and Roy Trott. Good to see them. Rob, one of the great characters of OCR. And this is the onboard with Andy and Graham Gittings. Second favourites, been lapped by the favourites. And in fairness, conditions would never suit the Gittings. They will fight another day. And so here they come at the end of a gruelling 45 minutes. Graham Hastings and his co-driver, James Kent, will win the first round of the Offshore Circuit Racing Championship. And in the end, it's going to be in some style. This will be a moment neither will forget. As it is in any sport, your first Grand Prix win is the special one. But commiserations to Derek Basham, so close yet so far. Ruiz Lown following Sharon Attlee's breakdown, her first Grand Prix win. So this is how they finished up, and it really is all change at the top. Sanderson, the champion, could only manage